It was never a choice. Hillary Porter did not ask for this life. She never went looking for them. They came for her, again and again and again. At 5 years old, she learned what fear truly meant. Alone in the field behind her home, running her fingers through the tall grass, she was safe until it appeared. Not a person, not human. Scaly, rough skin stretched over its muscular frame. Its black, hollow nostrils flared, sensing her presence like a predator sizing up its prey. Without a word, without warning, it lunged. Its grip so strong, her small body stood no chance against its monstrous hands. The metallic disc in the field awaited them, as if the creature had always planned to take her. Hillary barely registered being dragged inside, barely felt the floor shift beneath her feet as the lift descended into something deeper. And then, the room. Bright light danced across consoles, flashing strange symbols, illuminating figures that skittered about in eerie silence. Before she could process their faces, their presence, they tore her clothes away and threw her into a cold slab. Then the pain began. She saw the instrument, a jagged, unrecognizable tool. But before she could scream again, they dragged it slowly, deliberately, up her bare skin. That's where the memory ends, or rather, that's where they want it to end. Hillary doesn't remember the times she vanished as a toddler. Her mother did, frantic, searching for her only to find her half a mile away, untouched but somehow different. The abductions never stopped. Decades later, her body still carried the scars, the blood, the stains on her sheets, the bruises that appeared overnight. She never saw them coming. They ripped her away while she was driving near Cardiff in the 70s. Then again, as she strung up bunting at a charity event, she saw the orbs floating outside her kitchen window, watching. Always the same symptoms followed: the migraines, the implant buried deep in her ear. Her partner's monitoring device beeped wildly whenever he scanned it, and yet no one believed her. For years, Hillary suffered alone. She sketched the monsters, the ones that stole her childhood, that stood outside her window, that pressed cold metal against her body and took what they wanted. She drew the truth no one wanted to see. Then, in 1994, they showed her everything. Flashbacks. Memories they had buried came rushing back, forced into her mind like cruel reminders of their control. This was a crisis abduction, an attempt to break her. It almost did, but it led her to others. It led her to Ken. It led her to survivors like her, people who understood the silence, the scars, the terror. The truth was spreading. Hillary wasn't crazy, neither were the others. Greys, servants, reptilians, higher beings, and then the worst ones, the cowled figures. Their blinding eyes looked into you, through you, forcing thoughts, commanding you without words. Women suffered the most. They needed them, needed their bodies for breeding, for creation. The abductions became less frequent, but they were still watching. Bright formations flickered across the Hampshire skyline, hovering triangles, silent, unrecognizable ships that she could feel more than she could see. She knew what they were, and she knew they weren't finished. Hillary has stopped convincing skeptics. She only speaks to the ones who understand. The ones who wake up with the scars they can't explain. The ones who remember bright rooms they've never stepped foot in. The ones who dream of monsters they've never seen. because they know and they are never alone. It began as just another night, the kind where the air buzzed with the laughter of the neighborhood kids playing their usual games of dark hide and seek. The streets, steeped into the quiet comfort of the early 90s, allowed us to roam as long as we kept within the bounds of our neighborhood. The games ended, the echoes of running footsteps faded. Soon, it was just my stepsister and me, perched on a green cable box beneath the empty, black sky. The stars shimmered, indifferent, until one of them moved. She stopped mid-sentence. "Did you see that?" she asked, voice barely above a whisper. I turned, my gaze locking onto a pale blue light hovering unnaturally among the stars. Something about it felt wrong. It was brighter than the surrounding lights, shifting in ways that defied logic. And the moment I truly saw it, felt it, it saw me back. That's when it moved. Faster than thought, the light shot forward, swelling from a tiny speck to an intense, binding glow, consuming everything before us. The world did not illuminate. The darkness remained, untouched by the brightness, as though the light existed outside reality itself. I tried to speak, but my mouth refused to obey. My body felt distant. My sister sat frozen, her face twisted in silent terror, her limbs locked in place. It wasn't just paralysis, it was control. Something, someone held us there. Then came the blinding white-blue flash. The world melted into a haze. Darkness wrapped around me, thick and endless. Time ceased to exist. There was no up, no down. There was only floating, suspended in nothingness. And then the figure appeared. A tall, perfect human with impossibly flawless skin. No wrinkles, no imperfections, not even a gender. Everything was so symmetrical. Everything about it was so smooth, too smooth. Way too refined, like a version of humanity scraped clean of its flaws, and yet somehow unsettling. It spoke, but not out loud. Words formed in my head, crisp and clear, delivered with the certainty of something that never needed to explain itself. I was being studied, and somehow I knew I had been studied before, and knew that I would be studied again. It wasn't my first time. Somewhere in the void, I felt a strange pressure behind my ear. It felt like something was burrowing. Something had been placed inside. A device slipped beneath my skin. It was painless yet invasive. A mark, a tracker, a silent tether to things far beyond my understanding. I asked where my sister was. They replied she was undergoing the same procedure. My thoughts twisted into fear, and then panic, and then desperation. I demanded to know, "What are you?" They responded, "Humans, from the future. A lie, I thought. I knew it the second the words entered my mind. The feeling shifted. It wasn't a cold authority, but with amusement. Maybe a little bit of mockery, as though my question was ridiculous or childish. Then the light returned. Gravity reasserted itself. The darkness peeled away, and the stars filled the sky once more. I was back, beside my sister, on the ground, at a neighbor's yard, far from where we'd been. The sky bled into dawn. Ours had been stolen, erased without explanation. My stepsister and I did not speak. We didn't ask anything either. We just went inside because something deep in our bones screamed that asking what happened or acknowledging what had happened would be worse than forgetting. For years, my sister insisted we had simply seen a helicopter and fallen asleep. But I remember the light. I remember the voice. I remember the thing behind my ear. And when my wife noticed the strange scar at the base of my skull, the memories came flooding back, consuming me in a way they hadn't in decades. The mark is still there, and I cannot shake the feeling that somewhere out there, something is watching.